Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. So today I am going to explain a poem by Maya Angelou, The Caged Bird. Okay, so let us begin. So first let's look at Maya Angelou. She is an African American and she wrote an autobiography also with under the title I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. So this title is actually very important to her life because she all the time felt like a caged bird. Though at her time the black people in America had a lot of freedom, but still they had many social restrictions put on them. So most of them did not feel quite free. So she thought that her voice was not heard by many people in the wide world. Okay, so let us look at the first stanza. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So she begins the poem with a very positive tone. She begins with reference to the nature. She describes the flight of the free bird against the sun rays. So this very description lets the reader appreciate the nature and appreciate the freedom and joyfulness of the free bird in the natural background. So here the reader feels positive. He or she is thrilled by seeing the freedom of the bird. So let's look at the second stanza. But a caged bird stalks down the narrow cage, can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The second stanza begins with the word but. So here the poet prepares the reader for the contrast. So contrasting the free bird, the caged bird cannot look at the sky even. He cannot get a glimpse of the sky. His vision is narrowed down by the bars of the cage. So the tone of the poem drastically changes from the positiveness, peacefulness, satisfied tone to the unnerving and frustrating tone. The bird, as it cannot go anywhere, she opens his throat and he sings because that is the only way of freedom the bird can have. So the caged bird's wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So that depicts the enslaved condition of the free bird. Here we can take this analogy to the life of Maya Angelou. She also felt like the caged bird. She is an African American in the US and she wrote and she sang and danced in order to express her longing for the freedom. Let's look at the third stanza. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of the things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings of freedom. The third stanza intensifies the tragedy of the caged bird. The caged bird sings about things unknown to him. What is unknown? Freedom. He does not have freedom. He does not know how freedom tastes like. Still he sings about freedom because he desires for freedom. The next stanza. The free bird thinks of another breeze and the tread winds soft through the singing trees and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. So the next stanza reverts back to the free bird's activity. The free bird thinks of the another breeze in the sighing trees, how he is going to enjoy and what he is going to eat. All these things he thinks about. The mention of the fat worm here brings in the predatorial nature of the free bird. So the first stanza and the fourth stanza are hugely contrasted with the second stanza and the third stanza. The reader feels the oppressiveness of the caged bird by when he or she sees the condition of the two birds placed side by side. The next stanza. But the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. So the cage becomes the grave of dreams of the caged birds. Because the caged bird's dreams are shattered and he has to bury the dreams inside the cage itself. So the Maya Angelou's life also was the same. She felt that she did not have the same opportunity as her white counterparts. So she could not achieve all of her dreams according to her. So she felt like a caged bird and she felt like singing on the grave of her own dreams. So the second line of the stanza becomes very frightening. So here it is said that his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. The caged bird screams the way it sounds like someone is having a nightmare. Maya Angelou perhaps felt the same. The bars of racism and discrimination provided the caged birds for her. So she continuously kept on singing to express her longingness. So here also the bird continues to sing to express his longingness for freedom, and also it is the symbol that his desire to be free is not contained. The last stanza is the repetition of the third stanza. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. So the repetition here intensifies the longing of the caged bird even more. The desire is so deep that the caged bird cannot stop singing. And here Maya Angelou or maybe all the other black poets of that time felt the same. They might be feeling that all their voices are not heard or probably heard just as a distant echo. But still they kept on singing, they kept on writing and crying out for freedom, for liberty, and they will keep on doing that unless they achieved their freedom and their equality. Because all of them are meant to be free, meant to have all the natural rights. So the two themes are here which are very evident. That is the contrast between liberty and caged nature. And another theme is the denial of the basic rights. So I hope that will help you to understand the poem a bit better and help you to prepare that poem. So I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.